What's up guys, this is Zach and I'm a Lumix creator. And in this video, we're going to talk about lenses. There are different types of lens in the world. We have the standard zoom lens, we have the prime lens, we have cinema lens, we have anamorphic lens, and we have some kind of other weird lens. We're not going to talk about all the lenses, but instead we're going to focusing on two types of lenses today, which is the zoom and the prime. So the zoom lenses, like its name said, it can zoom. So oftentimes, like what you see here is 24-70. This is a full frame lens, and we have other lens right here, and some is like 12-60, 12-35. So the number is the focal length. It means that this is the lens which have a focal length of 12 mm to 35 mm on a micro four third sensor. And this has a 24 mm to 70 mm on a full frame sensor. So this is a full frame 24 to 70 mm, and this is micro four third 12 to 35 mm. Both have the same focal length, although the number is different. Why is it different? You can watch our other video talk about sensor size. On the other side, we have prime lens. So the biggest difference between zoom and prime is that prime is a fixed number. It has a fixed focal length. So 50 mm, we have 35, we have 85, which cannot allow you to zoom. But the prime lens often has a larger aperture, like 1.4, 1.8. You can go even down to 1.2, which give you nicer bokeh, blurry background effect. So when do you need a zoom lens and when do you need a prime lens? For most of the time, when I shoot short films, when I shoot some scripted films, ads, or I shoot something that I really need precisely that focal length, I'll go for prime lens because it gives me sharper image most of the time, and it also gives me bigger aperture. Larger aperture means more light and also means more blurry background. And a zoom lens is good for conditions like if you're shooting weddings, events, something that it happens in real time. You need to have the ability to zoom in and zoom out. Because imagine you're shooting an event and suddenly you need a wide shot and you change from 50 mm to a wide angle prime lens. But after you change the lens, probably the moment has gone. So that's not good. So you're shooting events or you're shooting something that fade away very quickly, you want to get a zoom lens. So depend on what kind of things you want to shoot, you want to get different lens. It's a smart move to mix and match. You can get zoom lens, on the other hand you can get some prime lens. So in your system you can switch back and forth. So focal length is one of the things, and the biggest difference between zoom and prime is that aperture and the focal length changes. One more thing is that the optical image stabilizer of the lens. We talk about the in-body image stabilizer in another video, and some lenses do offer another layer of stabilization on the lens itself. If your camera has an in-body stabilizer and you put on a lens which has an optical image stabilizer, you will get a pretty stable video, although you are handholding, walking without a tripod or gimbal. And that is the advantage of putting an OIS lens to IB's body. So not all the lenses have this. You may want to check, do your lens have this function? So right now I'm holding a 12 to 35 mm for micro four third, and it has an optical image stabilizer. You can on and off it. We talk about aperture, we talk about zoom range, and we also talk about stabilizer. So the next thing is focusing of the lens. So as we know, all lenses have the ability to focus manually, but not all lenses have the ability to focus auto. Manual focus means that you have to turn the focus ring manually to focus the thing you want. Autofocus, of course, means the camera processor will determine which part of the image should be in focus, and it will tell the lens to turn the motor inside the lens to focus the picture. So what kind of motor the lens use also will be the key part of your purchasing. Because we're talking about video making, it's not like photography. In video making, we will record sound most of the time. So you really do not want a lens which have a very loud autofocus. Some lenses do have a very loud autofocus sound because they are not using the pulse motor. So pulse motor is a motor which we built in the lens. It's a type of autofocus motor which will give you a very quiet autofocus. Means that if you're recording video, you won't record that noise when it autofocus, which some cheaper lenses will tend to have that kind of problem. If you want to choose a lens, you may want to take note on this. Do your lens has a pulse motor because it will affect a recording experience. That's it for the lens. If you want to know more, we have more in-depth tutorial in other videos. This is Zach and I will see you in another video. Thanks. Thank you.